What's going on, guys? Back with another video today. Salty Newts here. I'm going to be reviewing a audio card that I use. I've been using it for about couple of months now, uh, and it's definitely really changed my perspective on audio. It's just something that I bought on a whim. I really didn't think about it. I mean, I saw it in my at Best Buy a couple of times. I was like, I kinda want that, but I really never planned to buy it. And then one day I was buying my computer parts. I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get that. So I got it, and honestly, I've never looked back. It's amazing. But do something a little bit different. I'm going to cue the intro, and then we'll get started. All right, so the audio card is called New Audio by EVGA. It is a amazing audio card. It definitely has really helped out when it comes to gaming, editing my videos, things like that, because I can hear stuff that I've never heard when recording something before. Um, it definitely is a amazing piece of equipment if you really want audio, but it's definitely a powerful piece of equipment. I mean, maxes out at what I think 600 ohms. It is a audio lover's dream, so to say, when it comes to a PC. I mean, it has a bunch of really good ports. It has a quarter-inch jack. It has RCA plugs if you want to hook up some really good studio monitors. It has a mic input and then a secondary audio input, if I'm not mistaken, 3.5 millimeter. I currently use it with my Audio Technicas that I did a review on. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave a link for you to go see that in the description. Go ahead and go check that out. But let's get down to the audio interface that I actually use with it. All right, so this is the audio interface that I use when it comes to my new audio. So there's a few things going on here. Here's where you're going to control as far as like your audio. So like if I turn this off, I can control my actual power to the headphones. I do have volume controls that allows me to turn, of course, the headphones up and down, my speakers up and down. I can actually have both of them going at the same time if I want to, but I usually don't need to. I want to leave that at 100%. I usually turn my speakers off, but this is for your microphone. I don't have my microphone plugged in through that. I have my USB mic going. That's what I'm using. My HyperX. If you want a review on my HyperX Quadcast, I've been using this for about a year and a half now. Ever since Random Frank P did a video, let me know. Leave a comment and let me know if you want me to do a review on that. But there is a few settings on this page. Let me see. Where is my... There we go. Yeah, so right here, you can change the sample rate. So, I mean, look at all these sample rates from 16-bit all the way to 32-bit. 44,000 kilohertz all the way up to 384,000 kilohertz. Like, it is ridiculous the amount of quality audio you can get out of these. I usually leave it on this because most everything that you are going to like record, like Streamlabs OBS, can do 192,000 kilohertz, 32-bit. So I'm gonna leave that there. But I mean, if I have something that can support this, I'll put it there. But I don't have anything yet. It does change the audio a little bit. I don't have any equipment to let you hear the audio as far as the quality goes yet, but I definitely am going to be looking into get something for that. There is reverb, so basically it gives you the sound of like an echo, like you're in a coliseum or a theater, that kind of stuff. You have a balanced or not a balance, but a compressor that lets you change the tone of what you're listening to, either softer, balanced, or louder. I usually do louder just because I want to hear explosions when I'm playing games, or I want to hear my footsteps, things like that. Yeah, it gives you a little rundown of what this is for. And each one of these does produce a different sound. I usually leave it on louder. But reverb, of course, see, you can choose how you want it to sound. I usually leave that off because I don't want anything like that. If you are listening to something that was recorded live, this is amazing. If you say you were listening to something that was recorded inside of an actual, that was someone singing on stage, things like that, you want to do this. Of course, surround, it's what it is. It gives you surround sound. It's really great for games. I think I'm going to say this, I'm going to butcher this probably, Nymic, that one. Well, whatever this is, it actually, there's a gaming engine that comes with this that allows you to get amplified sounding games. Like I was playing Call of Duty one time, driving one of those little ATV things, and I ran over a can and actually heard it. It was nuts. That stuck with me ever since that happened. Volume stabilizer, of course, levels the volume of your voice in order to avoid any saturation and maintains a constant, clear communication. Noise reduction, so it does static noise suppression, so it removes background tones like hisses and fans and things like that. It doesn't do the best. I use NVIDIA RTX Voice. You can actually see it on my desktop up there, but that is what I use to suppress my voice. There's definitely some other features, like, so this is your equalizer. So yeah, there is 10 little settings that you can set right here. And you can set presets to what you like. I usually do not touch this. It took me about an hour and a half to set this, to get this the way I want. But it's a really in-depth sound. I mean, a little tip on these is usually I like to put all of them down and one by one take it up to where it sounds the way I like, because this is user preference. It is not going to be a set thing across the board. It's all user preference, no matter what anybody says. And of course, there's your quick one where you can set all of this to quick settings where you get the most bass, the most voice clarity, treble, all that. But I usually leave it on my presets because I spent time for this. And then of course it takes you back to this. Now there is also your LEDs, because as you can see here, there is actually some RGB that you can do. You can set it to a few different things. I usually leave it on breathing just because it's the smoothest. It doesn't have the best RGB setting in it. I mean, if I do some other type of setting like mist or something, it doesn't do the best job, and it's usually just one static color, and I don't like that. And it's like super choppy, so it's not the best. I don't like it, so I usually leave it on my breathing, because that's just the easiest, smoothest one. But setup is also another place. Now, it took me a minute to find this. I didn't realize I could do this, but this is like, of course, like starting minimized, your firmware version, language you're going to choose. But if you hit this little arrow, it actually takes you to a secondary menu for advanced. So, of course, you can choose your sample size. I usually leave it on 512 because that's just where I like it. But you can, of course, go all the way up to 2048. I'd have to look it up again. All right, so yeah, the couple of other stuff, like see the ASIO status, so current sample rate, input latency, things like that. This stuff you can't change. It's set. I mean, if you turn it into turn it off safe mode, it will actually change this stuff right here to different samples. But yeah, so then there's, of course, this stuff right here. So traditional sound is what I like to leave it on, because I mean, sharp roll off, slow. Pre and post echoes make powerful sound. And of course, there's a whole bunch of different ones, and it kind of gives you a little rundown right below it what it does, depending on your sound profile that you like. I usually leave it on traditional sound. And then, of course, this is for your mic. So with your mic, you're going to want a different type of sound. You're going to want like whatever you prefer when it comes to your voice being heard. And then of course it takes you back to your version. But I like it. It's simple enough that if you want to mess with it, you can of course do a little research, find out which one of these one of these things is and meanings are. And yeah, you can definitely figure it out and play around with it. The worst you can do is just mess up and then reset it. Set it back to factory settings. I have really enjoyed this card. It's definitely something I would recommend to someone who's an audiophile. If you're just a regular average gamer on PC, I wouldn't recommend buying this. I thoroughly love sound. I have tinnitus, so I have constant ringing in my ears. It definitely gets worse sometimes, but I sure do love my sound. That's why I did invest in this because I do use it every single day. It's something I do take advantage of, so it's something that's not going to waste. It's probably going to earn its money back tenfold. I mean, I do have quite a few headphones. I mean, you can actually kind of see them there. Those are my Sonys. I really love my WH-1000 Mark IIIs. I have those my Audio Technicas. I have the Sony earbuds. I have the Galaxy Buds. I have those JLab Go Airs. I have my Powerbeats Pro. I have tons of headphones. So I love my audio. But this is definitely something I'm happy I bought, and I'm definitely going to recommend in the future if you love audio. Um, but it's a very niche market. It's a very small market. If you want good, clean sound, want to be able to control your audio, control exactly what you want to hear, perfect. Um, you do have to, of course, make sure you have enough SATA power plugs because it does take SATA power. It does not power off of PCIe. Um, so you do have to make sure that you have enough SATA ports. That was something an issue I ran into, but I definitely don't regret getting it. But I will definitely use this for years to come, and always recommend it. um, oh yeah, that is another thing. It does use PCIe as far as the plugin. So if you don't have a PCIe slot, you may need to, or PCI Express slot, you may need to think of another solution. They do make external audio cards, but this, yeah, you do have to have a PCI Express slot to put this in because it needs it. But it's worth it. If you are upgrading your motherboard and you want really good sound, you want get the complete gamer edge. I don't see any other way of going. They EVGA does have a couple of options as far as like this one and then a professional version. The professional version actually, if I'm not mistaken, requires two parts. I'll have to double check that and I'll cut something in or leave a little word down here if it does require two parts. But they also have a library of high-end audio that you can download and test out for yourself. You can plug in plug in your headphones through a different port, or use like USB headphones or something and test it out, and you will see a difference or hear a difference. That actually being said, another cool thing that this card does is so you can actually you can plug into take your your front plug audio, and plug it into the card and use the actual front part of your audio instead of having to use the back of the card, which is really cool. I really like that. So you can take advantage of your case's headphone jack if you want to. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. But I think that is all that I have for today. But if you did enjoy this video and you're thinking about picking up the card, leave a like. Let me know what you think down below as far as like if you have the card or if you're going to get the card, what you expect or what you um, dislike about it. I honestly couldn't find anything I disliked about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has been an amazing experience. Um, so yeah, let me know below what you expect, what you expected, what you didn't get, what you got, things like that. But definitely let me know. I'm open and ready to hear it. But yeah, I am about to sign off. So until then, love y'all. Stay blessed.